Okay, so you'll need a 14 mil. I use an impact, probably not the best idea. You'll need a chisel so that you can friggin' pull the pan away from the diff, and probably need a persuader to aid in the chiseling. So I'm gonna get this pan ripped off and we'll get her draining. So I'm working on Beastie, jack her up a little bit and freaking fit underneath. I think on the stock axles, they've got a brake line T that bolts in right here. It'll have a 13 mil holding that T on, and then take that off, move the brake lines up, and then there's a 14 mil behind it. When I'm draining these things, I leave the top bolt in, I just back it off a little bit, and I pry from the bottom. That way the whole pan doesn't come off and you get soaking oil. That's just how I've been freaking shown to do it. Oh, there's okay. Didn't know you guys drift. Oh! Don't know how much of that you actually saw. I did not know that my friggin' camera drifted up. I apologize for that. But basically I just hammered the back case off and yeah. So now that I got that draining, I'll use the 3/4 on the axle shafts and pull them out. Well, since my axle's freaking broken, it's I'm probably gonna have to hammer it out. Yeah. So I'll pull the other side and then I'll have to freaking hammer this one. I'll get a chisel or something behind it and fight it until it comes out. Okay, there we go, she's loose. Give that a little pull. And you'll feel it when it drops down. It's about 6 inches out, so that's fine. And you're gonna leak a little bit of fluid, so. Now I guess I'll work on the carrier. Okay guys, so first take these guys off. They're 13 mil. Those hold your adjustments in place. You can see the holes in this. So, zing zing. And probably should be wearing gloves, but I don't have any and the part stores are closed. So that's what that's all about. Okay, now we'll pull the main caps. 13/16. Thing just wants to fall out of here. Usually you gotta friggin' wind the caps out a bit, or the adjusters out a bit to get the bearings loose. And if you do rotate them, count. Like I've marked these. When I first took it apart, I put a line on it so that I can line it back up to how it was stock with the gear mesh and whatnot. Pull that guy out of there. Okay. And I believe this one goes down. Yeah. So I do have a mark. I don't know if you can see it, but I've got a black felt pen right there. So that would be 1 full rotation, and this guy goes up. And this thing really wants to just fall out of here. And 1 full rotation. And now this thing is freaking not light, so brace yourself. Yeah, see, I gotta go a little bit more. So I go down. Not quite 1 full rotation. And now she's free. And if you're gonna stick your fingers in here, be very careful, because this stuff is kind of sharp and it won't give. Your fingers will. Okay. Oh yeah, I freaking just cleaned all the threads out of that. I'll drag this over and freaking shine a light in it so you guys can see exactly what I did. Freaking, nope, it's not chunks of metal, but there was chunks of metal in here, so I'm thinking when I welded it, I got it too hot and distempered the metal, and that's why it freaking failed. So I welded my other one, but I didn't solid weld it. I just tacked, well not tacked, but I welded the spider gears and the side gears really good, and that was it. So drag this guy over and show you guys inside. Alright, I'll try to get the light so you guys can see it good. Yeah, there's no splines really left. They're all just sheared out of it, which is weird, because it only friggin' ground a 1/2 inch deep into the axle shaft. I'll pull that and show you guys what it did to the axle shaft. Oh, that's friggin' full of oil, damn it. Yeah, you can just see the end of it, it's friggin' cleaned out, but the rest of the threads are fine, so. On the other one, I freaking sheared, the 1/2 inch of it was just smooth. So, yeah, anyways, I'll get the new carrier put back in, and hopefully no more problems. I'll go freaking clean up a bit. I suppose I could have just freaking pulled the axle shaft in and been like, oh, look at that. And of course it drips more onto it. Oh well. Okay, so now friggin' get the new carrier and stab it in. Well guys, I think I might finally have it. This one is set way to the freaking other side, so yeah, it's smooth engaging. Just, no, actually not quite enough flex yet, because the drive shaft is spinning when I'm barely touching this. So when this heats up from just driving it, it's gonna friggin' be really tight, so I'm gonna have to wind it back a little bit. What I figured out is I friggin' just stuffed the axle shaft into it, so that that's a little bit better. Anyways, I just stuck the axle shaft into it to keep it held into place, and it's doing a pretty friggin' good job, so. Just a freaking hair more. Just a hair more. Ow, hit my head off the gas tank. Ooh, this is freaking really wound in. There we go. You want to check for friggin' engagement all the way around. You don't want it binding or anything. You want it to be nice and smooth. And if you're gonna grab the drive shaft and do this, make sure there's no burrs onto it. I threw it on the ground, but I freaking stabbed myself right in the hand with a long freaking sharp piece of metal. It was not so much fun. That feels just about right. Maybe freaking just a little bit tighter. A little bit more than that. There we go. That feels a lot better. So now I'll put that cap back on and freaking try to line up those little freaking U-clippy guys as best you can, and bolt the cover back on after torquing everything properly and whatnot, and then bolt the axles in. I'm gonna have to rethread this hole. I think I stripped that one out, so I'll get on that and then hopefully call it a night once I get it filled with fluid. Well guys, I got my preload all set up. I double checked it, it's all good. Just about ready to install the pan now. I took a buffer wheel and cleaned up the perimeter of this, and I took the friggin' cover over to the bench grinder and clean that all up. So what I do is I put a bit of RTV on it and smear it around my finger, make a nice friggin' pattern, all even and whatnot, and brake clean the crap out of it. I went around and cleaned out all the threads, so now I should not have any issues whatsoever. So that's awesome. Speak too soon apparently. Probably because I didn't clean the bolts too, for frig's sakes. But it's too late now. I gotta freaking tighten this up before it friggin' starts to leak down and contaminates my friggin' clean surface. So I'm gonna have to be a little bit on the quick side of this. About 90% of these are threading in real nice so far. But yeah, there's always that one freaking difficult one. So anyways, I'll get these all tightened up, and I'm not going to use the impact to retighten these. What I'll do is I'll run and grab the an extension and a ratchet and give her like that. So you don't want to friggin' strip these out, and probably wouldn't be all that difficult to do. Mind you, it is friggin' cast iron, I think, that you're threading into, so it shouldn't wreck it, but they don't need to be friggin' ridiculously tight. You just need to friggin' snug them. So yeah. Anyways, I'll finish this up and show you guys what's next. Alright, so basically what I do is I'll go around the perimeter, tighten them up a little bit, and then go around another time and freaking snug them. So, and this was a wrecked one, so I drilled, or not drilled, but I tapped it, and this is the bolt that came out of it. So this bolt is no good. I got to get a new one. So that one can just hang out for a minute or two. But rear cover is reinstalled. I want to build some kind of freaking armor or something to go over there to protect the freaking pinion. So, but anyways, next step. Put the axle seals, or the freaking axle stubs into it. Well, I'm just in the process of tightening these up, and I remembered that one's all stripped out. So this bolt just flops around in there. So I'm gonna have to get a new freaking hub assembly. But that's what pick and pull's for. So I just freaking go around it. These axles, I don't know why, but I've always had to freaking force them in the last maybe ½ inch or so. Just go around it a little bit at a time. Apologize, until they're all snugged up, and then I'll drop it on the ground. I torque these guys to about 80 foot-pounds. It just seems like a nice number, so. But actually that might be a little too tight considering that guy's all stripped out to frig. So, I don't know. But you don't want them coming loose, so maybe I'll just freaking do 80 again. And the reason why this tire is spinning is because I have the transmission in neutral so that I could test the preload. There, so now I'll do the other side. I find a good trick is if these won't line up, just friggin', the axle's gonna have a little bit of play in it, so just friggin' rotate the tire until it lines up. If you get two in, then you're good. So there, and the rest won't friggin' go anywhere, so. This side was fine holding up to 80 foot-pounds, so I'll just friggin' keep it at 80 foot-pounds. The other side had a gasket in it, this side does not. Neither side leaked oil until I opened them up, so it's fine, I'm guessing. Okay, well this side's been snugged up. Now I can get it off the jack stands and start to fill it with oil. Well guys, I got all the fluid put back in Beastie. She freaking spins really nice and everything. Gear mesh sounds good. Everything's good. I'm gonna go take her out for a test romp and test out the new freaking carrier. So, anyway, before I end this video, I finally found a network. It's Total Automotive Network. It's GT channel at YouTube. So if you guys are automotive based videos and you don't have a network, a lot of networks out there are gaming networks. There's a lot of gaming videos on YouTube. So there's a lot of networks based around what there is lots of. So anyways, these guys are 100% automotive, freaking hardcore motorheads, just like me, just like a lot of you guys that watch my videos. So there, I think it is. Instead of playlists, I'm gonna have a link to their channel right over there in that box. So check them out, subscribe. If you guys have a lot of videos and want to sign with a network, definitely check them out. Scott, the CEO and founder, he's friggin' nicest guy you'll ever meet. So anyways, with that said, I'm gonna go take her out for a test romp. Oh, and I got the forums going again. I took down the main site, and I don't think I'm gonna freaking focus so much on the main site as just the forum. I want to get a lot of friggin' traffic to the forum so people can help each other out with different things. It's basically just going to be a place to hang out and learn, and I guess that's just it. Freaking hang out, learn, have a good time, freaking show off your rigs, projects, whatever you guys want to show off. So yeah, anyways, take care guys. Thanks for watching.